Good evening and welcome to Sunset News, the show that brings you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, the Ondangwa Town Council has confirmed that 7,012 account holders owe the council $102,187,507 Namibian dollars and 91 cents, which has prompted the council to enlist the help of a debt collector. Due to a lack of resources, many local governments resort to hiring professional debt collectors to help recover outstanding money owed to them. In order to strengthen the town council's credit policy, it has appointed Red Force Debt Management. For the next 3 years, the independent debt collector will be responsible for recovering all money owed to the town council in respect of the accounts of both individuals and business enterprises. The amounts are outstanding in rates, taxes, water and plots. At the end of its 2022 financial year, the Government Institutions Pension Fund, GIPF, held 26% of the issue share capital of locally listed Capricorn Group, while its stakes in First Rand Namibia and Standard Bank Namibia were 16% and 6% respectively. Except for First Rand Namibia, where the GIPF increased its shareholding from 15%, the fund's interest in locally listed financial institutions remained the same as in its 2021 book year. At the end of March 2022, the GIPF's stake in Capricorn, of which Bank Windhoek is the flagship brand, was valued at 1.91 billion Namibian dollars, 130 million Namibian dollars, or 7.3% higher than in the fund's 2021 financial year. The value of its shareholding in First Rand Namibia was 1.238 billion Namibian dollars, and in Standard Bank Namibia, 157 million Namibian dollars. Getting into our next story, the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, MAWLR, has been drilling boreholes since December last year to address the prolonged lack of potable water in the Ohangwena region. Currently, the ministry has drilled at least 4 boreholes 250 meters deep, including one at Oikuku village in the Yoshikunde constituency. The Namibian Maritime Officers and Shipping Association, NAMOSA, is of the opinion that a quota allocation of 600 metric tons is not sufficient to carry out all the social responsibility activities its business plan makes provision for. According to the chairperson of NAMOSA, Philippus Iwete, the organization, which is a shareholder of a new entrant and fishing rights holder, Namfi Fishing, cannot provide for the needs of the most vulnerable members of society. Bringing us to the end of our top story, Stadio Namibia has introduced a new course which was launched in November 2022. The Higher Certificate in Management Extended Program allows students who have completed their grade 11 with marks that don't allow them to advance to the subsidiary level to enroll at the higher education institution. The course was mainly introduced as a pre-tertiary experience to build the knowledge foundation of students who want to later enroll in other programs such as bachelor's degrees or diplomas with Stadio Namibia or any other institution. Students who have acquired at least 20 points from grade 11 of the 6 subjects are eligible to apply for the course. However, G-Sibbles are exempt from the calculation of the required points. The program will run for 18 months and is offered via distance learning. This creates an opportunity for students from across the country. After the break, we get into our story of the day, and tonight we take a look at the relocation of residents in the northern part of the country due to the floods. Stay tuned.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia as we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and Oneuptwo.com, as well as broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Allgemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.
Getting into our story of the day, George Ngololo, headman of Oneuptwo village, explains the devastating effects the flood have had on his people. Ngololo joined the Ohangwena Regional Council Disaster Risk Management Committee and officials from the Office of the Prime Minister on Monday to evacuate and relocate his people to dry land. He is grateful to the government for a speedy response to their plight. Ngololo is part of the affected subsistence farmers. He has urged the people in his village not to panic or spread rumors, saying they will do their best to make sure all the affected residents are safely evacuated. This video is by Enzo Amuele and Tuyemo Haidula. Let's have a look.
Well, I'm George Ngololo, the president of Oneuptwo village, or where you are at this point in time. So, the effect of the met on the ground is that we have been negatively affected by this flooding water. We didn't expect it. We have only seen it unexpectedly, although we have heard that there is a flooding somewhere there, far away, coming, but didn't expect it to come the way it has come. All of a sudden, it's just come, and we couldn't do anything. It has affected many people. Around about 16 to 20 houses has been negatively affected. And me, as the headman, I'm the one who has been negatively affected first before the others. A big part of my land has been adversely affected. So I've got only a little bit part of my land which I can probably survive. And it won't suffice me. I won't get anything from that because it's too little. So we are just only depending upon the government. Maybe it's gonna help us with something it can or what it has. Otherwise, we're gonna suffer unless we get something from the government. So one thing I would like to say to bring to the attention to the people of my village is that we should not panic. We should not be afraid. We should not spread the rumors, but we have to speak the truth, because the truth prevails. The truth sets free the people. The rumors don't set the people free. So let us base on the fact which is on the ground. So to be honest, me as the headman of this land where we are, I don't sleep well because my land was plowed, and unfortunately it is giving me a huge pain and a headache because of this flood. I would only like to express my sincere thanks to the government to have responded to this disaster, because if it wasn't the government, everything would have gone worse. I see the government is now here, is now busy putting up the tenders for the people who have been affected. So I'm very happy and thankful for this assistance which the government has given us and still continue giving us, particularly people who have been affected. I think if I go from here to my people to tell them that this is what the government have said, I will be very happy and thankful for this, because they didn't expect this to be done for them, and the government has done it for them. I only call upon the government to keep it up and not to end up here, to give assistance to the others who will be in the same situation like this one in which we are. I'm so happy and so thankful. Thank you very much.
The government is failing to adhere to the public debt target. We dive into this full story as we get into economic news right after the break.
The Evening Review is a daily interview-based talk show that dissects and expounds on current affairs as they occur in Namibia. The show aims at reaching Namibians of all age groups who seek better understanding of the state of current affairs in the country. This show is broadcasted on NTV, Oneuptwo.com, and cross-shared on the following Facebook platforms: Namibian Sun and Namibia Media Holdings. The Evening Review focuses on interviews, latest news, and up-to-the-minute current events. Contact evening@synergy.com.na. Evening Review, unpacking today's pertinent issues.
Oneuptwo brings you community news in the Orongo region. For news-related or advertising queries, contact irongotalk@synergy.com.na. Orongo Talk, our community, your news.
Let's get into our economic news. Namibia's public debt expectations for the current financial year doubled to 69.6% of gross domestic product as it failed to adhere to its own public debt target of 35% of gross domestic product set in the 2012-2013 financial year. According to the Institute of Public Policy Research, Namibia finds itself in a situation where public debt has reached levels government never foresaw. This is primarily because it has always been easier to borrow more than make painful decisions on cutting spending. That's it for the economic news. Let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at $21.26 to the pound and at $18.78 to the euro. It trades at $17.29 to the US dollar and 2 Namibian dollars and 54 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Looking at commodities, gold is up with 0.05% and Brent crude is down with 0.15%, trading at $88 and 6 cents per barrel. In the international news slot after the break, we look at Hungarians traveling to Slovakia to fill up their tanks. Stay tuned.
The My.NA Cars Show provides viewers with the best in-class cars content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest cars-related news, products, and services. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact my.na@synergy.com.na. My.NA Cars, more than just a ride.
We can prevent violence against women before it happens. It means tackling the root causes of violence, working with men and boys to end power over women, which is often normalized and justified. Transforming these root causes and preventing violence needs political commitment and leadership, laws and policies that promote gender equality, investments in women's organizations, and resources for prevention work. But prevention also starts with you. You can start by educating yourself. Speak out when you get a chance. Advocate for survivors' rights and always listen to survivors. Preventing violence against women and girls before it actually happens is the most effective way of ending it. So let's start now.
Just like everywhere else, petrol prices in Hungary have jumped since the government scrapped a fuel price cap in December and raised taxes on fuel, prompting many drivers to fill up on cheaper fuel in neighboring countries such as Slovakia or Romania. Across the Danube River in Sturovo, Slovakia, diesel costs diesel costs 1.619 euros or 30 Namibian dollars and 36 cents per litre. on Saturday at a local filling station versus 1.75 euros, close to 33 Namibian dollars, at a station in the Hungarian city of Esztergom. The price difference was smaller on petrol. Thibaut Toth, who drove across the bridge that connects Esztergom and Sturovo to fill his tank, traveled around in Slovakia during the holidays, and when they filled their tank, they saw how much cheaper it was. They only have to drive across the bridge and they're already there. Re-elected for a fourth straight term in April 2022, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban is facing his toughest economic challenge to date, with inflation running above 24% and the economy headed for stagnation this year. His government was forced to abandon a year-long cap on retail fuel prices for households amid a severe shortage in early December. At the same time, the government raised the excise tax on fuel and placed additional taxes on oil and gas firm MOL's profits made on Russian crude. Hungarian fuel prices were higher than elsewhere in the region, partly due to the higher taxes, but also because the price cap distorted the free market for fuel, cutting competition, said Tamas Pizza, regional oil analyst at Erst Investment. Firms stopped importing fuel due to low prices last year, aggravating the shortage, while a lot of smaller petrol stations were forced to close due to mounting losses. After the break, we come back with the weather forecast.
Straight Talk is a debate competition for high school learners and a spelling competition for primary school learners, mostly focusing on current affairs among the youth. Contact Zone at synergy.com.na to share your products and services. Straight Talk. Don't raise your voice, improve your argument.
Namibia's hospitality is as vibrant as its people. Join the What's Cooking team as they travel the country cooking, chatting, and celebrating local personalities and the joy of food. If you think you have a standout offering, whether it's a restaurant, bar, pop-up event, or braai stand, get in touch with the What's Cooking team at cooking@synergy.com.na, and we will be there to show the world what's cooking. Programs air every Friday at 4 p.m. on all the NMH Facebook platforms, as well as on NTV, Dstv channel 285, and Gotv channel 94 at 9 p.m.
Let's take a look at the weather predictions. Overcast weather and thunder showers are expected in major parts of the country, including Inanna and Rundu, as well as Omaruru. It will be sunny in Luderitz, while a scorcher awaits Ariamsplay with a maximum of 39 degrees. Marienthal will be cloudy with a maximum of 36. In the sports section tonight, we take a look at international tennis news. Stay tuned.
Kom kuier gerus elke Vrydag aan saam met Arjougar, waar hy vooruitskouing doen van wat op die sportvelde reg oor die wêreld gaan plaasvind. Daar word op die naweek se top internasionale sportgeleenthede gefokus en plaaslike sport in Namibië asook Suid-Afrika word in oënskou geneem. Die kenners praat saam en huidige asook oud spelers gee hul mening en ons hoor grootlik sommer uit die spreekwoordelike perd se bek. Niemand weet met sekerheid wat die naweek op die sportveld gaan gebeur nie, maar iemand weet wel watter faktore die uitslae kan beïnvloed. Ons praat met daardie iemand wat weet, en soms word geheim ook uitgelaat. Vrydaande is ons in die tonnel gereed om uit te draf. Dit is jou Vrydag afspraak wat jou ingelig gaan hou voordat die spelers uit die tonnel opdraf. Sport is ons passie. Sien jou in die tonnel.
Starting off our sports stories this evening, tennis players Jessica Pegula and Coco Gauff are the number 2 seeds for the women's doubles, and the Americans are due to face Taiwan's Chan Hao-ching and China's Yang Xiaoxuan for a place in the semi-finals on Tuesday. Supersport reported that according to Pegula, she thinks it helps that she's playing doubles because she doesn't have time to sulk around after losing 6-4 and 6-1 to Victoria Azarenka. Lewis Hamilton has spoken about how he had bananas thrown at him and was repeatedly called the N-word during a quote-unquote traumatizing school career. The 7-time Formula One world champion, who grew up in a town near London, detailed the racial abuse in the On Purpose podcast released on Monday. The 38-year-old, who is preparing for his 17th season in F1, said, "For me, school was the most traumatizing and most difficult part of my life." After the break, we take a look at the highlights from today's broadcast, just in case you need a quick recap.
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact tourismus@synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bring the world to Namibia.
My.NA Property Show provides viewers with the best in-class content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest property-related products and services. If you would like to feature your brand or your campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Properties, more than just a roof over your head.
We know that violence against women and girls is pervasive everywhere in the world. So now imagine a conflict breaks out, or a natural disaster happens, or a global pandemic like the one we have seen since 2020 breaks out. Institutions are often focused on addressing this crisis. And in conflict settings, some of the institutions that are responsible for protecting women's rights collapse. The United Nations and UN Women work around the world to address some of these challenges. We make sure that women and girls who are victims of violence access services, including justice, health, psychosocial support, and reintegration. We also work to address the root causes that generate violence, for example, addressing harmful social norms and masculinities.
You're watching Sunset News, and if you're just joining us, here are the news highlights. The Ondangwa Town Council has confirmed that 7,012 account holders owe the council $102,187,507 Namibian dollars and 91 cents, which has prompted the council to enlist the help of a debt collector. Due to a lack of resources, many local governments resort to hiring professional debt collectors to help recover outstanding money owed to them. The Namibian Maritime Officers and Shipping Association, NAMOSA, is of the opinion that a quota allocation of 600 metric tons is not sufficient to carry out all the social responsibility activities its business plan makes provision for. According to the chairperson of NAMOSA, Philippus Iwete, the organization, which is a shareholder of a new entrant and fishing rights holder, Namfi Fishing, cannot provide for the needs of the most vulnerable members of society. In sport, tennis players Jessica Pegula and Coco Gauff are the number 2 seeds for the women's doubles, and the Americans are due to face Taiwan's Chan Hao-ching and China's Yang Xiaochuan for a place in the semi-finals on Tuesday. Supersport reported that according to Pegula, she thinks it helps that she's playing doubles because she doesn't have time to sulk around after losing 6-4 and 6-1 to Victoria Azarenka. And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook and all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, Oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on Dstv channel 285 and Gotv channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.